Honey. Honey. Those are the first two words I heard on my 46th birthday. That's true. I'm 46. That was only 2 months ago. Those are very concerning words. Those are words I heard from my wife, and about 45 seconds prior to that, about 3:30 in the morning, I had an urge to go to the bathroom. I got up too quickly. I was lightheaded and didn't have my wits about me, and actually passed out. I blacked out, banged my head against the table, have a little scar, and then I jammed my neck against the floorboard. So when I heard those words, I was very groggy. I felt like it was in a dream. My entire body on pins and needles. Couldn't lift up my shoulders. So for about 20 seconds, I was paralyzed. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Obviously, I'm happy and healthy now. So, this very sapid ending. So that's a good thing. But what ended up happening was I was able to gain my lower extremity strength. And then finally my upper extremity strength, but I had some tingling and numbing sensations in my arms, so we went to the hospital, went to the ER at Presby Dallas, CT scan, head and spine, all clear, blood work clear, but the attending physician said because I had this numbing and tingling sensation that I had to wait for the MRI to open. It was about 4:15 in the morning at that point. Well, the MRI is a different department of the hospital. So I had to wait until 7 o'clock for them, so I'd enjoyed a nice morphine cocktail for 3 hours. Did the MRI, a neurosurgeon came back and said, listen, you have an injury that you sustained your spinal column, you inflamed the top of your spinal cord, but you have a pre-existing condition or a past injury where your spinal cord is too constricted and your spinal cord is not able to float around appropriately. So the only remedy to that was to have surgery. So neck surgery the next day. Was out of commission for about 6 weeks. I'm okay, but the key there was I had a pre-existing or a past injury. So let's take a look at my past. I'm a Louisiana man, born and raised in New Orleans. Was born to a Catholic family. Both my parents were born in the Depression era. My dad was born in 24. He served in the Marine Corps, was in World War II in Korea. He died of leukemia in 1996. My mom was born in 1929. She was actually a nurse, and she had an uncle who at that time said you can go to nursing school at either Vanderbilt or Baylor, and she chose Baylor. So that's probably where my Texas roots started to manifest itself. I have one older sister who is now in Dallas, and growing up I was very athletic, very sports-minded from about 7 years old all the way through high school. I played in team sports. Played football was my primary role, so took a lot of jarring hits, was very physical in the football for about 9 or 10 years. So maybe that's where a pre-existing injury could have occurred, not sure. But in any event, after high school I went to LSU. Attended LSU for my first 2 years and quickly realized that would probably be about an 8-year career. So I decided to leave LSU and come back to New Orleans where I got my degree in marketing, and had an outgoing personality, so I put myself in a sales role in medical sales. And I did that for about 14 years. But in 1996, I had an opportunity to move here to Dallas, and I took that. It was a job transition in the healthcare field, and didn't know anybody. Had some connections with LSU, so I kind of worked through that little network connection and developed some friendships. Spent about 2 years in the village. I was overserved many weekends, but I joined a social organization called Team in Training, also known as TNT, which is part of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. What they do is train you, civilians, individuals, to do marathons, triathlons, century bike rides, but your commitment to them is to raise a certain dollar amount, and there's various locations that you can choose. I share this part of the story because it was in October of 2001 that I was scheduled to go to Monterey, California to participate in my first Olympic distance triathlon after raising $5,500 for the Leukemia Society in memory of my father. Well, the airports were shut down because of 9/11, so we had to pick another event. So our event got rolled into March of 2002 in Maui. So in January of that year, we held a fundraiser at the Old Monk, which is a little bar off the Knox Henderson area, and we did that to raise money. Well, that day is where I met my wife, or future wife. So It was a great day because for the next day, ever since then, we certainly have stayed in communication. And this past December, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary. Well, about 5 years ago, the second love of my life was presented. That was our daughter Tatum. She is a rock star, 4.5-year-old. I know some of y'all have young children and have raised kids, and that's been such a treat. And it's so amazing. All the cliches that you hear, how fast they grow, certainly comes into play because just these past few months, we've been looking for a kindergarten for her for next fall. So while she's wanting to grow up fast, we're trying to hold her back as much as possible, but it certainly has been a great ride so far. Around that time, I had a job dissatisfaction in the medical world. I had my mom who has Alzheimer's. She's going on her 14th year in a healthcare facility. My dad passed away with no life insurance, so everything my parents made has gone to pay for my mom's health care. So I made a decision while I was helping people in the healthcare world solve problems, I wanted to help people on a more personal level. So I transitioned my career to become a financial advisor, and that's what I've done the last 3 years. I'm very happy in that role and being able to reach out to people and help them meet their financial goals and protect their assets. So in conclusion, today I stand before you injury-free, a very happy and healthy husband and daddy, ready to help people with a financial future, and most importantly, in addition to my health, I'm searching for that kindergarten experience for my 4-year-old. Thank you for your time.